last 1 million cups of 2022. Yay! Well, not yay because it's been a good year. Yeah. Well, we're excited. We've got a good day planned today, but just want to remind you, I think everybody's been here, but 1 million cups is an entrepreneurial education program. It's been a fantastic year. Over 40, I don't remember the number, 40 something presenters, but might even be more than that. But anyway, the point is, just want to remember all of you, or have all of you remember, that if you know somebody who's in business, you're going to start a business or whatever, invite them to 1 million cups. Bring them along, pick them up, bring them. But we need new faces, but we also are looking for presenters for next year. So we're going to be not meeting in December for the holidays, but we're definitely going to be recruiting and trying to book people so that we have a really good full calendar for next year. So be thinking about that we need you as recruiters. Okay? But anyway. Oh, there we go. Back up. There we go. Just want to say thank you to all of our organizers. But I've already talked to a couple people, but we do need a couple more people for next year to help us. So if you are interested in helping build the business community in Joplin, we would love to talk to you. But the one thing we want to do for next year is keep everything fresh and new and exciting. And so, like I said, we need a few good people that are interested and excited, and we'd love to fill those 2 spots. Have a great year next year. Again, we could not do what we do without sponsorship and help from all these organizations. I said we had coffee this morning. I want to thank Granny Schaefer's. And if you're in there, please tell Mike thank you for the coffee. But he does a great job, and we're proud to be there. But the Joplin Chamber and MOCAN and Missouri Technological Corporation, SMB, which we're going to hear from Peggy today, so that's awesome. But it's going to be a good year, and like I said, we just thank all of our sponsors. Well, we're in for a treat today. Jana Moreno is from We Co and she's from Springfield, but she's going to be talking about her company today. And I love her little slogan. It says, "We live, we love, and local business." So that's awesome. But why don't you come up and tell us all about it?
Can I use that instead of this one?
That's all right. What is it?
Can I use this one?
Well, we use this for questions.
No, it's fine. Okay. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, thanks. Yeah, hi everyone. My name's Jana, and I'm actually newly networking here in Joplin. And July 2020, I launched, right after the quarantine, I launched We Co, because I'm big brain and that's the best time to start a business, right? So a little bit about us is I've always had a big heart for small to medium-sized local businesses. And that's where this came about. I've been an avid networker since I was 22. So again, that was like 3 years ago. Got my start overseas. And then when I moved back here 6.5 years ago, first thing I did when I landed was start networking, right? So a little bit about We Co is after the quarantine happened, a lot of businesses and a lot of professionals were overworked and understaffed. Everyone agree? And a lot of the networking groups that were especially in Springfield, started dissipating because people couldn't spend an hour-and-a-half meeting every single week in a group of 50 to 60 people. And a lot of groups weren't even allowed to meet because of COVID. So what I launched was smaller industry-specific co-ops. What they do is they all have the same target audience, but they all offer different products and services, so no overlap. And then together they come up with a strategy to dominate their market segment, go out and become that one-stop shop for their target audience. And I can give examples of that later. So this is made for local professionals who are hyper-focused on meeting their goals. So we do have KPIs, we do have a lot of structure. We do ask if you become a member to pass a minimum of 4 referrals a month and to not miss more than 2 meetings in a 6-month period. The other thing is we're only meeting twice a month for exactly an hour, and the meeting's highly structured, highly focused on growing everyone's book of okay? The magic, so because these groups are smaller, 5 to 10 people, instead of a big room where you're gonna have, maybe some people targeting B2C, maybe some people targeting B2B, some people targeting trucking companies and all that jazz, they all have the same target audience. I don't know why you guys don't like it when I yell at you. It's fine, that's cool. So, and also our meetings are not publicized, so people can't just come in off the street and join the group. Actually, it's invite only, so it's really inclusive. We also have member-only events every month. I'm actually from the event background, so I host anywhere from 3 to 5 networking events a month, bigger ones. So we have a business mixer, a monthly lunch, a coffee meeting, and then we have a members-only meeting, which we just had yesterday. Yeah. The magic. So what's really cool is everything's automated. One of the things I really didn't like doing when I started networking here in the States is having to write down on pieces of paper who was in attendance, referrals, and all that jazz. So we created a platform where you log everything there, and you can even take meeting notes. And the only people that can see those notes are the members of that particular huddle or group. Okay. Also, we've automated it, and we're in the process of building it out and automating it even more. So let's say a member misses a meeting, they get an email. Hey, we missed you today. We hope everything's okay. They missed the second meeting in a 6-month period. Hey, your membership's up for review. Because especially in smaller groups, 5 to 10 people, it's different. In a group of 40, 50 people, 1 or 2 people miss, you still have a big group. In these smaller groups, we really require our members to be committed. So we're looking for, anyone heard of The Ideal Team Player by Patrick Lencioni? Okay, yeah. Humble, hungry, and smart. We're really looking for, so this isn't for everyone. I had a friend come up to me the other day and say, I really want to join. I just want to support you, try to give me money. And I said, no, it's not going to work. He said, why? And I'm like, because you make 6 figures over here and you have like a little side business. You're not hungry, right? So if this business needs you to be there during your meeting, where are you going to go? He said, okay, yeah, that's a good point. So we're really looking for hungry people. This is what our platform looks like. We do offer a 14-day free trial. We do not ask for credit cards. I think that's kind of skeezy. So you can come in, you can poke around and see what we've been working on. Once you sign in, you can submit a referral, you can check into your huddle. You can even post, so like if you post right here, everyone in We Co can see. So if you have an event coming up, you can submit an event, you can invite a friend, and we even have our upcoming events off to the side. This is what referrals look like. So we collect referrals. If you wanted to go and view, you click on it, you see when it was referred, who referred it, any notes. So, oh, this guy, he really wants to move fast. Give him a call today. He's expecting your phone call. We made this so that you can always track. We just had a guy, he was in We Co for a year, and his bosses came to him and said, hey, was this worth the time and the money? And he said, well, I spent 24 hours in We Co in the last year. I spent $500 on membership, and I've made the company an additional $24,000. So his bosses said, yeah, I think you should stay in We Co, right? We also have a business directory and a job board. So that one we just launched. So if your company is hiring, you can post that up if you're a member. And what's cool about the business directory is it is forward-facing, so you can actually get referrals from non-members too. So if someone's just searching the business directory and say, oh, I am looking for a plumber, hey, there's one. They can go and refer themselves. These are some of the names of the different huddles. We have some that target 55 plus, some that targets B2C, some that targets veterans, others that target residential real estate. So it just depends on who your target audience is. This is kind of like a little sample of what the notes that we take inside the huddle. So we also all set goals as well, and then we hold each other accountable for reaching those goals. So I do have huddles. If someone doesn't reach their goal that they stated a couple weeks prior, they have to buy everyone coffee, right? So stuff like that, just accountability measures. Moving on, these are our new membership packages. This, again, we have basic and featured basic. You can be in, you have access to our referral tools. Featured, you have the business directory, you get to join a huddle, you get to do all that jazz. Sean actually has helped me launch here in Joplin, and actually we're doing a mock huddle this coming Friday at noon. Sean, why don't you give a princess wave? He's cool, very pretty, very pretty. Yeah, so that's all I have. Are there, and I'm trying to get through as much as possible. Is there any questions?
Well, good presentation. So, I'm gonna start out with a question. So, we already kind of discussed this, but I wanted you to kind of explain a little bit further. So, it's kind of like a BNI, but the way I understand it, what you just said is it's more niche focused. So if you have 5 realtors, for example, they can all be in a huddle. No,
No,
No.
no overlap.
no,
So,
okay,
so for example, in our residential real estate huddle that we have, yeah, yes, you would be in that. So we would have a realtor, a mortgage lender, we would have an inspector, we would have a PNC person, we'd have maybe a handyman, and a few other trades. And then during the meeting, they talk about, like the one that we have up in Springfield, they're working directly with the Greater Springfield Board of Realtors, right? And they're doing presentations for them every month, right? And they do it together as a group, so they become that panel of experts for realtors. We have another group called Moms and More. They target moms aged 30 to 55, 60. And their strategy is once a month they host something called Moms and Mimosas, right? So they partnered with the War Zone, and once a month they all go in. Moms can go bring their kids can shoot Nerf guns for free, and the moms get a mimosa, and there they hand out their preferred vendor list that they made. Hey, and if you sign up, and like we have a hairstylist in there, we have an esthetician. I can't talk this morning. I had too much coffee. Coffee's really good here. Esthetician, we have a travel agent, we have specializes in Disney. These professionals get together and they made a preferred vendor list, and they say, hey, here you go, and by the way, if you sign up with service today, you get 20% off. So they've been generating a lot of business that way. So each group has a different strategy for targeting their market segment. The veteran group, they volunteer with the Legion Post. Legion Post 639, every Wednesday they're up there and they help run Queen of Hearts. They're constantly getting in front of veterans. One gets close to one, finds out he needs another service, boom, refers him to someone else in the huddle. So it's a little bit more focused and high strategy.
very good. Thanks for the clarification. Okay, who's got questions? Just raise your hand and please use the mic because we're recording. Oh, come on, there you go.
So awesome for you for stepping out and doing entrepreneurship on your own and doing this. I want to start with a statement before I get to my question. That is how entrepreneurs look at competition. So in looking at how we've evolved in the market, 10, 11 years ago when BNI first came to the market, I remember the chamber was really unnerved by that. And I met with the chamber membership then and just laid it out how it's not competition. I don't think there can be enough referral groups in any community. So all of us believe collectively we're trying to lift each other up, and one size doesn't fit all. And the thing that you mentioned is that meeting twice a month, structured 1 hour, that's going to be better for a business owner in a structured smaller group than it would be some other networking groups that have larger, and you end up spending 10, 15 hours a week on it. So I just want to commend you on that. And then the other question is, what are your plans for the Joplin market, and what can we do to help you grow?
Okay. Well, actually, Sean and we started working together, and he's an ambassador. Again, a princess way. He's really good at that. So my goal, again, I love small to medium-sized local businesses, so I want to help small to medium-sized local businesses grow. When I moved back here 6.5 years ago and I didn't know anyone, I've been an entrepreneur since I was in my 20s. I can't just go get a corporate job. I just don't do well in a corporate setting. I commend anyone that can. You have talents that I do not possess. I would trade in the 9 to 5 for the 7 in the morning to 7 at night any day of the week. But when I landed here, I would have killed for something like this. I would have killed to just have 5 to 8 people who was working with me to not just help grow my business, but can also make me a resource to my clients. I can send them people that I relied and trusted on to take care of them. I didn't have that. In fact, it took me years to form that. And then finally, when I started getting it together, COVID hit and I lost my job. So that was fun. So then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna follow my pain. A lot of people say follow your passion, but actually passion, if you look back to its Latin root, it's derived from pain. So I followed my pain. I'm like, I would love to have this for other people. And if anyone's ever been in sales, commission only, yeah, a day you don't eat is a day you starve. Yeah, it sucks, right? So I really created it for those kinds of people. Does that answer your question?
It does, thank you.
Who's got another question? Okay.
Not everyone, calm down.
Wow.
So, you may have mentioned this. You may have mentioned this in the presentation, but about how many chapters or groups do you have put together so far?
I think around 8. I don't do math.
That's fine.
Nine. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, Nick is my tech guy, so you see, I'm not good with tech, but he is. So Nick, why don't you give a princess like?
I haven't been working on it.
Right. So we have about 9 right now, and then we just we're launching in Joplin. Again, we have a B2B group that's meeting up for lunch this Friday at noon at Club 609. You can see exactly how the meetings ran, and even last time we had a few B2C people there that are targeting the B2C just to see how it was run. So we're inviting everyone, like y'all come out and have lunch with us. So.
Okay, so for our final question, so again, what is the number one challenge you guys have as a company, and how can we help you?
I think the number one challenge I have is educating the market. Like when I first started out, I hated calling this a networking group because I don't see it as networking. I throw networking events, but this is more of a co-oping group. And then people would be like, well, what's that? So because people don't really know the difference between co-oping and networking, I kind of reverted back to networking. So whenever you launch a business in a new market, it's going to take 10 years to educate the market. So it's going to take me another few years to let everyone know that co-oping is a little bit more hyper-focused and high strategy, high execution than traditional networking. Especially when I moved back here, networking, I joined a networking group and I was in it for 2 years and great, and I'm still friends with a lot of the people, but I didn't make any money. It ended up being a big time commitment. And I made, again, great friends, but at the end of 2 years, I was like, maybe it would be better if I just quit and just went door knocking instead during that time. Nothing wrong with it. Sorry, I'm kind of getting off track here. So yeah, my biggest challenge is co-oping is there's no part-time job in with this. So all of our huddle chiefs, the people that run the meetings, they get all the stuff done during the meeting, right? They might have 15 minutes outside of the meeting, like a call with their ambassador who's coaching them. That's it. And the ambassador's just checking in to make sure everyone's meeting their KPIs, everyone's growing their business, everyone's succeeding from being a part of We Co. So our success is based off of how successful we make our members. So that's my biggest challenge, the difference between co-oping and networking. That was a long-winded explanation, but there you go. Yeah.
What do you want to question?
I have a question. How does We Co handle, there's multiple people in that area, but you're gonna have to create multiple different pods. So if there's a bunch of people in the Moms and Mimosa space, are you gonna have like 5 Moms and Mimosa groups? How does We Co handle that?
Well, Moms and More, and it just depends on the strategy. So we have like 3 55 plus groups. We have 3 B2B groups, and they all have different strategies. And even sometimes they refer outside of their huddle to someone else. And this is kind of how I see it as well. It has to be, we're building We Co off sustainable success principles. It has to be right for you, right for me, right for us, right for all. Right? So I have people come up to me all the time like, Jana, I need a website. And I'm like, oh, I know a few marketers in We Co. What's your budget? What are you looking for? And when they tell me, I'm like, they don't start building websites unless it's at, starting $4,000. This person only has a budget of $800. If I refer that person as someone in We Co, they're going to get upset. It's a waste of their time and resources. But I do know this person over here who's not in We Co. So the referrals really have to be right for everyone, right? But again, having multiple huddles targeting the same thing in the same area, they all have different strategies. I have a 55 plus group that has partnered with TLC Properties, who has 8 different 55 plus communities. And once a quarter, they go and they give a talk at each community. So So the financial advisor gets 10 minutes, the Medicare specialist gets 10 minutes, the accountant gets 10 minutes. And I actually have pictures of it online of them going and presenting at one of the properties there. But the other 55 plus huddle, they want to start an AARP group, right? There's no chapter in Springfield, so they're researching that right now. So all of them have different strategies. Does that answer your question?
So it does too much coffee too. Is We Co responsible for creating those like I'm thinking like in the Joplin area, are you creating the same sort of huddles in the Joplin area? Or if like there is a member that joins and they come to you and they're like, listen, this is my audience, and maybe can they create with you like a separate group?
Yeah, we've been working on SOPs. So my mentor, he used to run a networking franchise here in the area in a few different states for 23 years. He's been teaching me the systems I need to have in place so that I can successfully launch new markets. It's interesting. Sean came to me, we set up a group, and then we launched this lunch just for people to come check it out. And this is also how I kind of feel coming back to right for you, right for me, right for us, right for all. If you come to the lunch and you're like, this isn't for me, hey, that's cool. Thanks for coming anyway. You know, you're still invited to all of our events. One of the things the Joplin B2B wants to focus on is launching a business mixer here. I have a business mixer up in Springfield I launched 6 years ago, and it's the first Wednesday of every month. Before COVID, we had over 100 people attending every month, and 30 to 35% of those people were new members, or new people just coming in and out. COVID hit, now we're up to 60 to 80. But hey, wouldn't it be cool if we launched something like that here? We're launching something like that in Branson with the Branson Chamber. So collaboration, we're collaborating with Big Cedar in the Branson Chamber, and we're starting a business mixer there. We're calling it the Hollister Happy Hour, or H to the third, because it's the Branson Chamber, Big Cedar, and We Co. So I like working with chambers. I can see lots of partnerships with chambers in the future. But yeah. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. All good information.
Yeah.
Now, I was gonna say, you direct them to your website.
Yes, it is weandco.org, right there. Yeah, so go check it out. Check out our tools. We're still building out. We just launched our new platform. Thanks, Nick. Princess Wave, Nick. It's a terrible business wave. But yeah, you can get a hold of me. That's my email. Check out the website or come to the lunch this Friday. It's
We'll tell us again where it is.
Club 609. It's really far from here. It's at noon. So yeah, just come and have lunch with us.